This project's all about looking at alternative pruning systems to Sauvignon Blanc. Traditionally we've used cane pruning, and we've turned this on its head a little bit and looking at spur pruning as a more efficient and cost-saving method of pruning.
It was established winter 2021 for 3 years project, and this project is entirely funded by levy money.
With spur pruning, you set up a permanent cordon, which is basically a trunk lying on its side, and you use the replacement spurs off that cordon.
We started spur pruning in 2018. We realised that it works. We've now got about 7 hectares of spur prune. Well, the key outcome was that it had to crop the same as what our VSP vines do, which it did, and just to reduce the labour during winter. We found that it is cheaper to prune. We're still getting some really great quality grapes off it.
The difference in terms of cost for long spur pruning is about half the cost of cane pruning. We're doing it a lot where labour's more of a problem and they can get through the pruning quicker. Spur placement is critical. You need a spatial gap of about 180 to 200 between the spur sites, and that allows adequate light to get into those basal buds, the so-called less fruitful buds. But the more light you can get onto those, the more fruitful they are.
We are looking at about 4 aspects. So in the season in the vineyard, we are collecting the data for canopy density and then canopy structure, if we see any differences. And then we are also assessing the disease assessment scoring, and of course the yield. And then we also make a wine out of each treatment to see what effect it has on the wine quality. We are really interested to see what is coming up in this 3rd season.
The vine growth is the most significant difference. All the fruits that derive from spurs are all the same thickness. They grow evenly and they grow quicker, and they allow operations like trimming to start 2 weeks before cane pruning. But more interestingly, we're getting much more even ripening.
We're finding it's easier to train people how to prune. Within about 10 minutes, a new pruner has got a complete idea on what to do, and then another 15 minutes they've generally got it mastered.
Cane pruning is fundamentally all about replacing canes from the head of the vine. And the problems associated with that is we get large cuts, and that's become the entry point for trunk disease. With cordon pruning, the research shows that even though there may be more cuts, the incidence of trunk disease is actually less.
For those that are looking at replanting programs where you've got X amount of missing vines, instead of putting a new vine in, we can just, as a temporary fix, extend that cane along and fill that gap.
So if you were to start again and you were to put a proportion of a vineyard on long spur pruning, I'm recommending you set it up differently. We're setting things up on a unilateral cordon, so you do away with all the problems of the head, because it's the head that's created the problems of trunk disease. And I think if we adopt and train those vines correctly right from the beginning, we could extend the life at least another 10 years.